Hello, my friends. Welcome to Spanglish with Annie. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit, just to mention a little bit about anti-nutrients and what are anti-nutrients. Anti-nutrients are things that do the opposite of the nutrients. And those are found usually in plant-based products, right? Or products. And so I'm just going to mention some of them. The names are quite complicated, but there is a video by somebody that I really admired. His name is Aaron McKenzie, and he has a video that is about half an hour, and he talks a lot about, well, not a lot, but he expands a little bit more about anti-nutrients and why they can be not something beneficial for everybody, or why not everybody has the same tolerance to these anti-nutrients. So I just want to mention some of them, and I wrote them down just because my pronunciation might not be very clear and because they're just, complicated names. The oxalates is one of them. Oxalates, that's found usually on green leafy vegetables. And if you eat too much of that, it can cause you like a buildup of some kind of sort of a crystal sort of substance, and it goes to your joints and on your kidneys, and that may cause like kidney stones and joint pain and stiffness and all of that, and inflammation. All of these things, what they do, they cause inflammation, microscopic inflammation, which cause pain or body aches and things like that. Then we have gluten. We know that gluten is usually on grains like wheat and other things. It can be harmful for the microbiome, the gut, and a lot of people have intolerance to gluten, and to the degree that they're called the celiac problems. And it's people that cannot eat gluten because if they do eat it, like I told you, it doesn't affect everybody the same way, but to some degree, we all, I think, get affected, especially if we consume those foods in which these anti-nutrients are in great quantities. So then, of course, it's going to affect the more problems we're going to have. We know it's not a secret that there's people that is allergic to gluten, right? So it's like an allergy. These anti-nutrients cause some sort of allergies or intolerance, and there are different degrees of intolerance. Some people tolerate it better than others. Then there's histamines, and I am to learn more about histamines, but I know that there's people that have reactions, like really bad reactions to histamines. And one of the things that I know it is in fermented stuff. So we gotta be a little bit careful, and maybe not all of them, but I know it's in sauerkraut, and also it depends on how you cook bone broth. It might get a little bit of that on the bone broth, but according to what I investigated on this Aaron McKenzie video, like I said, I need to do a little more research. I haven't had any problems with bone broth, so for me it's okay. And besides, also them coming from animal foods, I guess is a different reaction. They coming from foods from the plants, but that's another one. Then we have phytic acid. That's another thing found on grains. FODMAPs, I think one of the things that have that is avocados. Saponins, I don't exactly much know what it is or what they do, but it's in some kind of beans, and also lectins. Lectins can be really, really bad, and they're in big quantities in beans, so be careful with that. This is a hard one. Isothiocyanate or something like that. It's so complicated to even pronounce these names of these substances. And then salicylates. And they are in different kinds of vegetables, and like, for example, the cabbage and the one that looks like a little tree, the broccoli, those have some of this stuff. So I'm not sure that all vegetables have all of them, but there is some vegetables that have more concentration of some anti-nutrients than others. So what I wanted to tell you about anti-nutrients is that, for example, they block the absorption of minerals and other nutrients in the body. And because, like we always hear that plants cannot defend themselves by running or, living if they're going to be picked up and eaten. So they have these substances that are called anti-nutrients that are kind of like a poison, a natural poison to protect themselves. So when we consume them, we're also consuming those. And in little quantities, you might not notice, especially if you're like in perfect health and you don't have any problems. But there's other people that have like nightshades, for example. We have heard about people that can eat tomatoes, for example, right? Because of the anti-nutrients, because of that reaction that they have is because of those anti-nutrients. Now, I don't want to throw all the vegetables under the bus either, or people that like vegetables. If you like the vegetables, by all means, please just eat them. And there are some that have less, like for example, one of the best ones I think is cucumbers. Avocados, I guess they have this stuff, but they are not so bad. And besides, they have a good percentage of fats in them too. So that kind of maybe, I don't know, maybe justifies it, the eating of them. And nuts and seeds have a lot of them. But there are ways to prepare. For example, in the old times, what people used to do is soak their beans, their rice, even they made sourdough. That's where sourdough comes from fermenting the grain that was going to be utilized to make the food. So it takes a lot of preparation and time, and it might not solve the whole problem of anti-nutrients, but what it does is diminish the capacity of the anti-nutrient to harm you. And at the same time, it adds up, because of that process, it adds up the value of vitamins and minerals and nutrient content on that. For example, sprouting, soaking, or cooking, of course, fermenting, all that kind of stuff. So someday I like to do that. And I used to do that when I ate some vegetables and some lentils, for example. And my children like sprouted lentils, so to make salads and stuff like that. So it's not so bad, and if you can tolerate it, I guess it's okay. I don't, because I just decided I like to feel great all the time, so I don't feel that it's worth it having some inflammation or feeling bloated or or opening my appetite even more when I eat certain things that make me more hungry. So, or not hungry, but like it wants to make you eat more, like addictive, I guess. It's addictive, sort of like if you eat a cookie, you can't stop at the first cookie, you gotta eat the whole package. I mean, that happened to me before. So I just rather, I'm okay without it. And I'm great without it. So, and that's the same principle for everything else, even for vegetables and fruits and honey and other stuff. So if you have any questions, please ask me. I don't have all the answers, but I can look it up. And also remember that I'm not a physician, I'm or a doctor. I'm just sharing a little bit of ideas and a little bit of the things that I've been learning. So you can go ahead and do your own research if you're interested and get more information about what these things are. And maybe if you have some unanswered questions with your health, maybe this can help you a little bit to find some of those answers at least. So hope this helps. Remember to be healthy, strong, and to be the best version of yourself. Have a good day. Bye. See you later.